Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. It's Friday morning. It's May 5th, and it's also March 5th, not May 5th. It was one of the M months. I'm the man they call Meathead. A couple more M's for you. Speaking of M's, it's Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
Did you actually had me invested? I was trying to remember if it was May Day or not. If May Day was like May 1st or May 5th or Cinco de Mayo. That's what May
5th.
Yeah. But, no. I mean, that shows you how much trust that I have in you. Was like I was just trying to figure out what holiday in May it was.
Yeah, but there's a holiday the day before Cinco de Mayo. Actually, there's two holidays. What is May 4th?
May the 4th be with you.
Okay. You're an Arrested Development fan, right?
I've seen an episode or two.
No, never mind. Because they were so mad before in Arrested Development. They were so mad that all the Latin Americans, the Mexicans, were celebrating, May 5th that they made their own holiday, May 4th. And yeah, it got pretty nasty. Go check that show out. But Matthew Thomas, man they call Meathead, a couple more M's in there. And I still didn't save myself from calling it May, but I thought I did pretty good at getting close. Let's talk sponsors real quick. Another M, manscaped.com, 20% off. PWR is going to save you that straight cash, homie, from Randy Moss with another M there. 20% off at manscaped.com. PWR, the promo code. Get yourself silky smooth like our boy Dave Hero always tells us. And then collar and elbow brand.com. Still waiting for my Festus face and my Irish whip because St. Patty's Day is just around the corner. I saved myself 10% with the promo code PWR360 at collarandelbowbrand.com. Matthew, we got a couple things to talk about, and it's going to be the entire clean 20. On these Friday mornings, I tried to do a clean 20, baby. Let's get out of here.
The clock is ticking like we saw on Raw this past Monday.
Again, for your man, Lashley. First off, let's talk about SmackDown tonight. Tonight on SmackDown, we are going to have Bryan and Uso in a steel cage for the right to challenge Universal Champion Roman Reigns. How do you see it going down?
I think we get Bryan and Reigns at Fastlane, and I want to see that because, I think this works on multiple levels. Jey Uso is in a main event in a steel cage versus Daniel Bryan. At the end of the day, regardless of the outcome, that is a very quantifiable improvement for Jey Uso in the last 6 months, last 12 months. I'm excited. They did a good job of building this last week, and we don't get cage matches on SmackDown very often. I think it'll be exciting. And what else I like about the potential for having Reigns and Bryan at Fastlane? Okay, everybody, myself included, they've been saying this whole time, Edge versus Reigns is where the story's at. And I think that's still where it's going to end up at. But think for a minute, the fact that we could potentially have an Edge versus Daniel Bryan WrestleMania match, that's a dream match for a lot of people that we never thought we were going to have the chance to get again. So
right, because of both of them being retired for years and coming back due to advances in medical, the way the bodies can be repaired.
Yeah, I like to flirt with that idea as well too. So I'm invested.
You like to flirt with a lot of things. We had a weird weekend in Waukesha once.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to SmackDown tonight.
Okay. I would love to see that too. We know how business gets taken care of. We're only, 5 weeks away now from WrestleMania. We've got to get to WrestleMania with Reigns and Edge in the main event. So, hey, if they take another detour and then get us to Reigns Edge, or if they get us, Edge and Bryan, whatever. But where does that put the head of the table for WrestleMania? And then I think there's other places for Bryan. I don't think there's other places for Edge.
Very, very true. And I think that, well, I don't know. It seems like Cesaro and Rollins are kind of doing their own thing. But, I was
Cesaro in his dad pants.
Yeah, I was kind of sold on the idea, back in our pre-Royal Rumble build about potentially a Cesaro Bryan steal the show match at Mania, which might not be out of the question, but you're exactly right. There are plenty of other options for Bryan.
We've also got Bianca Belair going to go head to head with Shayna Baszler because, the tag team champions can go from show to show, but apparently now they can go from show to show and get singles matches.
Yeah, that's what you do. Regardless of what happens here, give me more of Reginald.
I don't know if Reginald will show up in this because Reginald's not involved in this particular. I mean, maybe he comes out because Sasha comes out. Reginald belongs to Sasha.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think the inclusion of Reginald, I think that is going to be that spice that we need to keep us invested.
You're saying a little bit of like a lemon garlic on your chicken.
Yeah, no, he is the lemon garlic we need to keep us invested.
Little lamb ya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get a little lamb ya. You know what that is?
That's that's the thing.
I only know, folks, I'm not that smart, okay? I'm dropping words like I know what the hell they mean. Do you know why I know what lambya is? I've heard Charles Davis say it on my damn video game all year long when I keep going for 2 after I scored a touchdown. It's a little bit extra.
Hey, I mean, that's how you obtain that information. I mean, you're like a sponge. You just soak up everything that's presented to you.
Yes. Yeah, I'm SpongeBob Meathead. There you go.
You're the sponge that's not like sitting in a separate portion of the sink. You're the sponge that stays down at the very bottom of the sink, so it continually soaks in everything. I
just take it all in, right?
You stay in the state of moistness.
Oh God, there's another M. A state of moistness.
You know what? There's so many M's in this podcast. We just need to name it.
Yeah, right. Let's do some more. What's got me going is Revolution this Sunday, March 7th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, AEW Revolution. They, what is their schedule like? I think they're 4 pay-per-views a year, or is it 6? It feels like 4.
I think
they got some special TV events, but I think it's 4.
Yeah.
Let's run down the card.
Because 6 would be every other month, and it's not every other month.
Yeah. Let's run down the card. Let's talk about what we think is going to happen. Plus, Tony Khan opened his forbidden door and said somebody super duper 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 is going to be coming. And that sounded even worse than it should have. But listen here, Tony Khan. Let's not oversell this, okay? All right, Matthew, we're going to start from the bottom. Not that they're the bottom, but we're going to work our way up, okay? First off, we have Miro and Kip Sabian taking on the best friends, at least 2 of them, Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor.
Let me see Miro pin somebody and look strong.
Well, Miro doesn't pin. Miro submits.
Yeah, we need to catapult this guy. He is one of the potential biggest stars on your roster if booked right. We need to make this guy look strong. I'm saying Miro picks up a victory over somebody.
If Miro wasn't in AEW currently for the last 10 months or whatever it's been, he would be the big name.
Yes, no, 100%. He'd be the biggest free agent, on the market.
Okay. The big money match. Big money Matt Hardy, 1-on-1 with Hangman Adam Page. Who's winning whose paycheck for the first quarter?
Hangman Adam Page picks up a victory here and launches his 2020 that will result in him closing the year. Or 2021, my goodness, what year is it? His 2021.
What year is it? How old am I? Where's this cheese?
That will result in him at some point during 2021 being your AEW champion.
Okay. The Casino Tag Team Royale. So it's not a Casino Battle Royal. It's a Casino Tag Team Royale. Here's some of the teams that we have. Santino and Ortiz. Butcher and the Blade. We got Private Party. We've got members of the Dark Order. Couple teams from the Dark Order. Johnny Hungy. John Silver. All those guys are going to be in there as well. Matthew, the winner of this obviously is probably going to get a tag team championship match at a future date. What do you think?
Santino and Ortiz to eventually challenge the new tag team champions of Chris Jericho and MJF.
Oh, a little
Yep.
spoiler for the
Yep.
podcast there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I got to show the way it pans out.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll come back to that match in a second here. How about the Face of the Revolution ladder match? Now, here's what I have on my screen. I think there's more been announced, and we'll get to it while we talk it out. We've got Cody. We've got Lance Archer. We got Penta L0M and Scorpio Sky. I think there's one other name that's been added to that. Bear with me here. I'm going through the notes I've got here. But so far, what do you think of this match? The winner gets a future TNT Championship match.
Yep. And I'm predicting the winner in this match will be the new arrival to AEW, Rob Van Dam.
That guy's one of a kind. You see what I did there?
He's one of a kind. Mm-hmm.
I love that song, by the way. That song was fantastic. Max Caster also in this match. And again, like I said, and like you mentioned, TBD will earn a TNT title opportunity. You know, that was what he was most famous for in ECW, was being the TV champion, which the TNT championship is, right?
Yeah. Now, and I mean, just really, you know, going through thinking about future Hall of Famer, somebody.
Future Hall of Famer, somebody.
Yeah, this just, it makes sense.
Okay. All right, you called it. RVD, folks, Friday morning, 3 days away, 2 days away, whatever you want to call it when you're listening. You heard it first from Matthew Damas. Rob Van Dam, recently married to Miss Katie Forbes, one of a kind, and the Forbidden Door is technically open. Isn't he a current Impact talent? Is he going to show up possibly in AEW?
I think that'd be fun, you know, and I mean, we hadn't seen him on Impact in a while, but they need a little bit. I feel like AEW Impact relationships gotten a little bit stale over the last several weeks.
Gotten very stale. And
yeah,
let's go into that for a second.
Yeah, we keep forgetting. You know, we keep getting Tony Khan promos, but it's yeah.
No, what we get is Tony Khan promos, and we get the Good Brothers on Dynamite.
Yeah, honestly, Impact kind of feels like a forgotten toy at this point.
And to be honest, I mean, I thought there would be more, you know, as far as the back and forth, and we're not getting that. Who else should we see, Matthew? Tell me, who else should we see go through Tony Khan's Forbidden Door?
I'm interested in where, you know, and I know there was a lot of speculation of what was supposed to happen with Sammy. I think that would have been very interesting and very fun. I mean, here's the other thing too, as far as talents goes, I'd like to see Moose do some AEW stuff.
I don't think they will. I think they're protecting Moose because I think Moose is a future Impact champion, and I think Moose is I think they're protecting him. So I don't know if I see that happening, but I mean, you know what
I really would have liked to have seen is a little bit of cross promotion in the women's division, and that last tournament they had, giving us ODB on a Dynamite.
Okay, bam, that would have been nice. I mean, she can take her food truck wherever it's got to go, so it's not like she can't get travel plans. She just packs up the truck.
100%.
Riho, the champion, the women's champion of AEW, is going to take, and again, I'm probably going to murder her name, but it's Ryo Mizunami, the winner of the Japanese side of the women's eliminator. Well, really, the winner of the women's eliminator, as she beat the native beast, Nia Rose. I don't see anything coming out of this. Hikaru Shida is going to stay champion.
Yeah. And, you know, that's what I really expected out of this. I honestly think this tournament was a huge missed opportunity.
Huge.
You know, you had a chance to really reset that women's division, and they delegated one match a week to Dynamite. You know, most of this took place off of actual regular cable television, and you are left with, I think this will be an excellent match, but there was really no AEW breakout female talent that came out of this, you know, and
that's what they need. That's what they're missing.
Yes. I mean, and you look at the likelihood of, you know, say her not retaining. I mean, how does that work?
How does that work with a New Japan Pro Wrestling star as the AEW champ?
Exactly. I mean, it's just there seems to be a bit of fascination within the women's division, with the, and I mean, I get you were doing the cross promotion there, but you've got enough women in that division to, I mean, have a tournament.
Enough in-house talent is what you're saying.
Yeah, enough in-house talent to do it and make concrete AEW stars in the process. These people on the Japanese side of the bracket, that's not going to do anything for your AEW women's division. Unfortunately, it's a lot of, okay, these are some big names internationally, but at the end of the day, the take-home message, what is that doing to build your own division?
Right.
Not really anything. So I think it's going to be a great match, but I don't see a title change here.
And to be honest, I mean, they're just friends of the Bucks and Omega and the Good Brothers because they all wrestled internationally. And that's the reason why they're working. That's it. There's really nothing else there. There's nothing for the American television audience. And at the end of the day, it's about TV and it's about ratings and it's about money.
Exactly. And that's where AEW tends to be dropping the ball. It's got to be taken, depending on what you want to do with it. I mean, if you want a particular ceiling as a business, then book it that way. But it's got to be, if you want this thing to be a WWE competitor, to be on that same page, it's got to be looked at as a business, as opposed in there are things they do that are great, but there are also these times where it feels like they fall into almost a self-indulgent indie promotion. And that's what I'm feeling with what they've done with the women's division in this tournament.
Let's talk about the tag team champs, the Young Bucks and Papa Puck. I said Puck, I meant Buck. And Papa Buck. Don't know how he's feeling. I feel he factors into this match, taking on the challengers, Jericho and MJF with Wardlow. PWR fantasy draft style, I need the Bucks to retain in this one, and you say it's going to be Jericho and MJF winning the belts.
I think so, because I look at what has changed with the Bucks since they've had the titles, and I don't feel like we've really gotten anything new with the Bucks. I don't feel like they're looked at as, we were always told, since the start of AEW, that they were the best tag team in the world, and the title always eluded them. And, like what you're seeing with, say, a Bobby Lashley right now, it's the opposite story they've told with the Bucks. They have told since AEW started, you were to believe that this is just basically the uncrowned best tag team in the world. Mm-hmm. And what we've seen so far with the Bucks title reign is how new tag teams have been introduced are these non-title tag matches against the Bucks. They're just, for as many tag matches as AEW has on a weekly basis, it seems to be a very thin tag division as far as actual credible established tag teams. And I look at this and I think the story to come out of Jericho and MJF winning the tag titles, I think that is a much more entertaining journey. I just don't see the Bucks retaining. I don't see necessarily what that does for the Bucks or the product. However, I do want to bring up something that I forgot to mention yesterday on this program. Speaking of tag teams, did you see who showed up at the pull apart at the very end of Dynamite on Wednesday?
The retired Christopher Daniels?
The retired Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at the manual, I think nullifies someone picking up Edge. I could be wrong, but that's what it says in the manual.
The manual will have to be consulted with. I feel like there's an email chain that the accounting firm at Dewey, Cheatham and Howe will have to talk about.
Because I
guarantee you he's probably going to be in that tag team Casino Royal.
And and I mean, the thing of it is, you take Edge points away from somebody, that gap is a lot wider between that person and somebody else.
I don't want to have a conflict of interest here, but
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying too. Who knows? Let's talk technically the co-main events, but really the semi-main event. It's a street fight. We've had it promoted for damn near 6 to 8 weeks now. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with Taz on Team Taz, taking on Darby Allin, the TNT champion, and Sting in the street fight.
I think it's built for Darby. I could be wrong. I mean, I still think it's built for Darby. I think Darby and Sting stand tall, partially because of, if you look at how Sting was booked during his WWE run, losing to Triple H, you had the thing with Seth Rollins.
Oh, when you come in, you got to do the job. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who want to see Sting win something, and I think that's the way it's going to go down. If you wanted,
I feel like they might get injured.
if you wanted to do what's best for business, the way I see it, you have, because all right, Darby's kind of gotten that rub from his deal with Sting. I mean, he's Darby's buddy. Like, that makes Darby look good. How you keep passing that around, you have Sting do the job for somebody, be it Brian Cage, be it Ricky Starks. That is a career. That's something you can brag on for your entire career. You pin Sting.
I think Ricky Starks had his moment on Wednesday. So if it's anybody's moment, it becomes Brian Cage's. But I do believe this is built for Sting and Darby Allin.
Same here.
Okay. Main event. And this one is bonkers, man. Exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW championship. The champion, Kenny Omega, the cleaner, taking on the former champion, Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I think Omega retains here. I think it's going to be, as we've seen kind of with what he was doing with the Impact thing. I mean, I think it's going to be a long reign. And I think the story is going to be, who can dethrone Kenny Omega? And you might very well be in a gear plus reign here. Although it can't be, he has to lose it before the end of the year to Adam Page for my prediction to be correct. But yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute spectacle. A little bit of digging around earlier this week, there are people who are saying this is the first barbed wire explosion death match in North America. I haven't.
That makes sense.
Fact check that, but I think that might be a fact. It's going to be an absolute spectacle.
Is it a fact of life? Yeah.
It could very well be. It's going to be something to watch.
You know what? That would have been the guy to say if he wasn't L.A. Knight.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. That was the hottest free agent prior to him signing. But yeah, I think Omega retains here. I think it's going to be something to watch, people. I mean, it's not, this style of match is not my cup of tea, but not
mine either.
I'm really anxious to see what happens. Yeah.
I'm anxious to get through it and see the finish because I honestly, I've gotten older. I don't like as much hardcore. I don't like blood. And I'm going to watch the opening, the intro of Kenny Omega, because, there's always that part from North Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, they're AEW's willing to take chances. I mean, this is definitely making some news here. You just hopefully everybody's safe and everybody makes it out all right.
Yeah, I mean, if only he was from Burlington, North Carolina, like my man. Shoot the moon, or to the moon. I almost said shoot the moon. What movie is Shoot the Moon from? Shoot the Moon. Shoot the Moon.
I don't know. Space Cowboys?
No. It's a Cheech and Chong reference.
Oh.
Okay. Shoot the Moon.
Have you ever been to Burlington?
Burlington, North Carolina? No.
Got some. They're really big into coats and furniture there.
The Burlington Coat Factory you were telling me is from Burlington, North Carolina?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And
sure, it's not from Burlington, Wisconsin, home of Tony Romo.
I don't think so. There's some pretty big furniture outlets in Burlington too. I mean, you can get stocked up on coats and furniture when you're in Burlington.
That's worth a Google, folks. We're gonna find out where the Burlington Coat Factory is. Is it from North Carolina, or is it from Wisconsin?
No, I don't think it's Wisconsin.
Corporate headquarters located in Burlington Township, New Jersey.
What? Are you kidding me? It's
That's
not
what
Burlington,
the
North
website
Carolina.
says.
Okay, I'm at least right about the furniture. And that's one of those things, like growing up around those parts, that I just always assumed it's like, yeah, Burlington, that's where the coats are at. Although I also mistakenly assumed up until like a couple of weeks ago that the lost colony of Roanoke was in Roanoke, Virginia, which actually it's not. Well, I guess it's nowhere because it got lost, but you know what I mean.
Burlington stores began in 1972 as a family-run business with one store in Burlington, New Jersey. In those early days, serving the customer was about delivering a broad selection of off-price coats and outerwear. Our name was Burlington Coat Factory, and it was an immediate success. Wah, wah. All right, so we're both wrong.
Well, you know what? That's what the internet tells you. You don't believe everything you read on the internet, and
It
I'm
came
like that
from
with
their website.
I'm like that with a lot of places. Like unless I've actually been to a place, I'm not 100% sure it exists.
It came directly from Burlington Coat Factory's website.
Mm-hmm.
But folks, the truth is that Tony Romo, CBS #1 analyst and former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, is from Burlington, Wisconsin, not too far from Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land.
You learn something new every day.
All right, let's learn how to get it out of here. Matthew, we're already out of time. We're running over here. It was Friday. I said I wanted crisp 20. We're at 27. It's time to go. For Matthew Thomas, on the man they call Meathead, Monday morning with Linda Kay, we will talk everything AEW Revolution. So long, everyone.